The day that the incident happened with Chad Cooper, I was in bed.
Chad just wasn't feeling right that day, and they were out there pickling the pumps, and from what I understand, he just said that he had a headache, and he sat out on the fleet deck, out on the picnic table, and the deckhand had asked him, he's like, "Hey, are you sure you're all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit off." They returned down to the galley. A couple minutes later, Chad had gotten up, and I think he had grabbed some aspirin. And he's like, "Man, my head's really hurting." He's like, "I'm just not feeling right." He's like, "Hey, just tell Wade I'm just not feeling right today." He's like, "I'm not gonna eat lunch. Just let him know I'm gonna go lay down for a little while." And that's when he had gotten up, and he only made it to the door, and he had passed out.
I got woke up by the deckhand. The deckhand came running upstairs, and all I heard was that, "Tommy, Chad fell and he's not breathing." I really didn't even think much about it, and I threw my covers off, my little shoes, and ran downstairs. I didn't know what was going on. He was gasping for air. I had also sent the deckhand up to the wheelhouse to tell Wade, "Hey, got a problem."
He had rang the general alarm and made the announcement over the PA. Dad had passed out, he's incoherent, and he's not breathing. And I jumped up and I got suited up, got my boots on, I ran right down the stairs, and by then Tommy and the deckhand were already back downstairs kind of assessing what was going on. Everybody's just trying to wake him up, trying to figure out what was going on. Everybody was checking his pulse, trying to get him to breathe because he was having those kind of like very, very shallow breaths. I needed to get the AED. So I immediately ran upstairs, grabbed everything that we needed, and by the time I came back down, they had him already prepped, and just for the just-in-case purpose. But then he ended up losing a pulse, and he wasn't breathing no more, and that's when we ended up hooking up the AED.
I was doing CPR on him. Justin came down with the AED. I removed the AED out, placed it on Chad's chest, and said, the AED said shock advised. So we shocked him, and still nothing. He didn't have a pulse. Shocked him again, and apparently that did it, got him heartbeat back. By the time we got up to the boat dock with Chad, after having done CPR and shocked him twice, the paramedics were waiting on the dock. Once I had one of the medics in, I let him know that, hey, he's got a pulse. We're just having an issue helping him breathe. And that's when their bags started flying open and gear started coming out.
You could see an average friend just get hurt, and you're just like, "Oh yeah, you'll be all right." But until you really come up on like somebody that you consider a brother, and they're literally slumped on the floor, like all color of life is gone. It's a very scary moment.
Me and Chad were close, still are. And so it's not, a relief captain saving a tankerman, it's a brother saving a brother. And thank God that this company, Blessey, has such fantastic equipment on board in order to do stuff like that. And we have checklists we go through every month. And thank God we had an AED, because if we wouldn't have had an AED, I honestly don't think he'd be alive. I went over and I visited Chad. I didn't really have much time to get out of the truck before he snatched me up and gave me a big old hug, and we just kind of sat there, and him and his wife both, and it was just more than gracious, and it was really good.